The foundation just want to come at you with my second week of the preseason expectations. I'm glad I'm gonna get to watch I think the first quarter and a half maybe before I go and work. I'm so glad that next week, the third preseason game, which is the most important one of the preseason games, I'm gonna get to watch that whole thing because of work, scheduling of work. Having said that, this is gonna be Romo's 2016 debut. I think Witten is gonna play as well too. I don't know about Tyron Smith yet. I would love to see Zeke, but I'm confident. I would love to see Zeke. This because of the anticipation. They're gonna throw him in the fire with I guess the Seahawks. So, I don't know if he's gonna start. I think Alfred Moore is gonna start, but I think Zeke. I think when Zeke gets in there, all the anticipation, all my expectations, gonna be all there. But again, going back to this game. I think with Rome, I think that it's gonna. If he gets a good series, the first one, he doesn't have to score a touchdown. If he can get him a field goal or at least as long as it's not a 3 and out, I think he's gonna play that one series and then he's out. Probably Witten too. Other guys, Dak, he's the biggest one that everybody's talking about. Oh yeah, hold on. Again, pump the brakes a little bit. I had to kind of, I was smiling, I was doing all that. I was like, ooh, we got something here. But it's like, you gotta temperament that kind of stuff. Or calm down, this kind of stuff. Temperament, I don't know what that means. But yeah, Dak, I'm not gonna expect him to make the same stats. And if you do expect the same stats, then you're kind of kidding yourself. But what I am hoping he duplicates is his command of the offense. I hope what else duplicates is how the coaching staff put him in his showing the things that he's comfortable with, and at the same time displaying his athleticism, displaying his arm talent. That's what I wanna. That's my expectations is to continue seeing the command of the offense. As far as the other offensive guys goes, the backups, the second, third stringers, Jamil Showers, I love his arm talent. He needs help. Darius Jackson also did his job. He's a good runner. He makes a lot of dirty yards. He can make guys miss in small places. But again, his meal ticket will be on the special teams, and he needs to not drop the ball. He needs to not take ill-advised takeouts and all that. He just needs to be smart. Chaz Green, he needs to step up. He has no competition, and it's a very scary thing if it is. I mean, I hope, again, I just hope they bring. I'll give him the benefit. I wanted to see him succeed, but if they do bring in guys and competition wise and they beat him, then that's it. That's on him. Other guys, Swaim and Jones. More for Jones because I was hyping him up. I want to, and then because all of the great things he was doing in camp and in practices, he didn't translate it to the field, and that's not a good thing. And now he's going to have a little bit more leeway because Chris Brown is out. So, having said that, Bryce Butler and Devin Street, they've been through preseason before. They know how to navigate through the preseason. And on top of that, Andy Jones has to take it from them. Either he makes a hell of a thing on special teams, or he starts translating everything on the field. I mean, more so he's gonna also need to contribute on special teams as well. To again back up, these guys are fighting for special teams and depth. They're not gonna be starting playing time will be different if he can succeed over Bryce Butler guys. Defensively, one thing I was really pleasantly surprised with was that I didn't mention in my other video was that we only had, I think, 5 or 6 of our starters playing in the against the Rams, and we only lost 7 points. And that was an encouraging thing to see. But however, again, going through depth, the Rams came back. The Rams, did what they needed to do to win. So our second and third stringers need to step up. I mean, I see some good signs. In Zacha, he was doing well. Akune, he was doing well. Olatoye, he was doing well. Our newly signed guy Jenkins, he was doing well. I mean, but yeah, like now that Mayo might, I think he's gonna make his debut. I think Tyron Crawford is gonna make his debut. I think our middle guys is gonna get a lot of the success this year. I mean, I don't know if Lawrence is gonna play. I would like to see him play this to keep him in tune and all that. But Mayo, if they can get them, then we can see what it'd be like to have some real edge rushers. David Irving, I'm high on him. I saw him do some good things, but I want to see him do more. Russell, if he wants to stay on this team, I want to see him he has to do more. I think Sean Lee is going to make his debut. I'm not sure, but I think he's going to make his debut. But yeah, the backup guys, like the names I mentioned and all that. But I want to see the penalties minimized. I want to see that, continue the way you guys was playing, as hard as you guys was, the way, again, the coaching staff, the way they dialed up the blitzes, and the way these guys was timing their blitzes was very encouraging to see. So that's the things I'm going to be looking for. Other than that, again, I'm looking to depth. What I want to see is when you start doing the cuts, I wanna see, like, the writers talk about, like, oh my God, or when we turn on the TV and it goes, who did it cut? And you're shocked because you're kind of rooting for certain guys, and and it's like, okay, I want to see how much we can make it so hard to let it go. Like if we say we cut Okune but we keep this other guy, and then you got, I'm using an example. You keep Okune but we keep this other guy, and you kind of go, oh, I wanted Okune, but yeah, I understand, kind of thing. I want to make it a headache for these coaching staffs and the personnel guys to have a hard time deciding on who we need to get rid of. On that note as well, to one more guy, Wilcox, you need to step up, and also Frazier, you need to show up so that you can make it harder on the coaches, not like this default because he's a vet. Make it like, the Cowboys' new thing is going with the young guys. You need to show that you're the new wave of bringing these guys in. I believe that you can do it. I was happy with your pick. So I really need to see Frazier step up a little bit more. Anyway, that's my video. Can't wait to see the first down. Cannot wait to see it. Alrighty. Aloha. Paniolo boys. Go Cowboys.